It's Matt Santagapita from the Santa Sells Houses team, and this is another episode of our Monday market update for December 11th. We all woke up to, I guess, a decent snowfall in the London area, or a light dusting, as I like to call it. I think they were calling for several inches, and yeah, it was a sprinkle. At least in my mind, it was a sprinkle. It was nothing too bad. However, they are saying that we might get more snow, so who knows. Now, how does that affect the real estate market? Well, especially this time of year in December, I think this is the flick of the light switch, particularly for us men out there who kind of forget that Christmas is really right around the corner and we should start Christmas shopping. So what also we happen to see around this time is once we do get that first snowfall, essentially we see what I'm going to call a waterfall event of activity, which is essentially activity really does start to stop and slow down. And I think we've seen that in the numbers this week, which we're going to go over here in a second. But I think we're also going to continue to see that for probably the next at least 2 weeks, probably more realistically 3 to 4 weeks. Generally, once you get into the second week of January is when you start to see that kind of like uptick of activity again. Everybody's kind of gotten through the Christmas and New Year's, and then they're kind of getting back to life, realizing that, hey, you buy a house January, February, by the time you move in, it's kind of springtime. So anyways, without further ado, this past week in the City of London, we saw 82 new listings, 50 conditionals, and 92 pending. Now, interesting to see pending. I guess this is probably the first time that I remember pending closings actually surpassing new listings. Not a shock, though, because at the end of the day, there still are buyers. If you have the right listing out there, it's presented properly, it's priced well, someone's going to buy it. As we've said in previous videos, the biggest hurdle right now is affordability, or what I like to call just the payment. And the reality is that's where people struggle right now with interest rates being where they're at, is the payment is just too high. A lot of chatter around interest rates dropping in the new year. I was reading one report that suggested we might see a slight decrease in January, that it was a 10% chance. I have no idea. I think January will be too soon. I figure February, March. But I also wanted to pose a question to the people who view our video. I get generally a handful of direct messages, but we don't get a whole lot of chatter in the comments. But I want to pose this question. Would people be interested in having or seeing a panel discussion around interest rates, talking about both Bank of Canada rate, but as well fixed rate mortgages, and explaining in that what would cause the overnight lending rate to go up or down, what would cause fixed rate money to go up or down, and kind of discuss some of the stuff we should keep an eye on in the future. Let us know in the comments, or send us a direct message if you like. Anyways, those are our numbers. Let us know if that video would be of interest to you. Again, it's Matt Santagapita from the Santa Sells Houses team. This has been another episode of our Monday Market Update.